Hello lovely people, it's Cara here and I am so mad. So today's video comes on the back of the Show Me My Stash video that I filmed for you and went out on Sunday, and in it I promised that I would give you a tour of my sewing room. So that's what I'm up to today. So join me as I give you a quick tour around my little space and I'll see you at the end of the video. So this is the entrance to my sewing room, and so I'm going to take you on a little tour with me this morning. As you can see on the doors here, I've got some of these lovely postcards that you get. There's a Material Girl Laura one, that's get your sew on, and that's a Tilly in the Buttons one, and then I've got another one here from Laura. So I really like those. And as you enter my sewing space, this is a sort of a conservatory, but it's a brick built conservatory, and I'm a massive Harry Potter fan, so actually I liken this to the room of requirement, because over the years it's sort of adapted and changed to be various things. So it actually used to be Molly's playroom, and as you go around the room you'll see some things left over. I'll show you here. So we've got one of the headdresses she made many moons ago, and quite often in the corner of my videos you can see a mask down on the shelf there, and that is one of her school photos from a long time ago. But actually, yeah, so there's the room has several purposes, and I'm really lucky because you can see it looks out across my garden. But we've got a telly in the corner. Confess we don't use that very often actually, but it's, yeah, that's obviously there. There's normally a dog sitting, there's normally Alice sitting in this chair here. As you can see, there's an abandoned badger. You can tell from the area there that quite often our washing is popped in here. And then as I move around the room, got the remnants of Molly's toys and craft, and there's our printer there, and there's all sorts of bits and pieces inside there, and you can see some nice views of our garden. On my mannequin, which has seen better days, I've got a self-drafted white linen top, and then the sewing space itself. In the background there you can see my cotton holders, and my dad made these for me, which is absolutely super. I sort of basically gave him the sort of lowdown on what I wanted, and then at the top here he made these lovely hearts by putting 2 cotton reels in and creating the curve of the heart, which I just think is so cute. And there's some lovely things Molly's done for me over the years. This is a Mother's Day gift where she gave me loads of tickets, so you can see a ticket for a bath and spa, a movie, a bowl of snacks, 20 kisses, to go shopping, tidy your room. Can't say I've ever used that ticket. She's not used it on her room either. I'm a massive fan of Frisian cows, and my husband bought me some lovely artwork. I just haven't got around to framing that one. And the other one here, you'll have seen this before. A lady never discusses the size of her fabric stash. And then hanging on the window here, if you've ever seen these in my videos, I got various cards and sort of general memorabilia hanging. I just like to keep momentum. Oh, and look, there's Daisy. Daisy, the cow, is in our garden, and my amazing husband made that for me. Believe it or not, it's actually made out of fire extinguishers, and he crafted it for me. It's quite funny. He was actually going into, a number of years ago now, 3 years I think, he kept going into work really early, and that's not actually unusual for my husband, but for months and months he kept going into work early, and then suddenly he produced Daisy, and she sits looking at me. She's got such a lovely look to her, and I swear she's actually sort of talking to me sometimes, which is really cute. You can see I talked to you about trees. We've been doing some cutting of trees, and you can see those in the background. And then as you come back in, my sewing space itself, I'm so lucky. I really am so lucky. And you see this in my videos. This is where I sit. So I've got my brother, Innovis 5420, and my brother 1034D overlocker there, and then various tubs of bits and pieces, and my drawers down here. They've got sort of admin bits at the top, and then the usual sort of bits and pieces you get associated with sewing. In the box underneath actually is I save pairs of jeans that I grow out of or wear out, and a few bits and pieces of clothing that I will repurpose, not many actually. And then the main deal itself, let's see, step back a little bit. So we've got a bookcase here. It's not tremendously easy for me to show you. Let me go up and down again. I'll go back up again. So this is my bookcase, and that is my fabric stash. So on top I've got some non-sewing related items, and then I've got 1, 2, 3 boxes of fabric, and there is a lot in there for sure, but it's not as big as some people's fabric stash. And actually some of these pieces are, I've already made the key project, and there's actually project size pieces left, and then I think everybody has one of these, a box of scraps, and then use those for all sorts of different things, pocket linings, etc. And then in the unit here on the left, there's my iron on the top, I have my pattern collection. So if I take you a little bit closer, so inside this top drawer, for example, it's very close, is my sew over it patterns. So if I just grab one out here, so bear with me a second. So here you can see that I put in my patterns into these poly pockets. I might show you that in a bit more detail once I've done the sort of the tour itself. So I have sew over it in the top. I've got tilly in the buttons, and Seamworks, majority of that in the middle, and then I've got other in the bottom one, and all three are pretty full actually. And then the only actual paper patterns I've got live down in these little baskets down here, so I'll take you with me. So I'm yeah, massive PDF fan really, and as you can see here, these are sort of well, these are the patterns, and in this one as well. Just bear with me, sorry, I'm not feeling too motion sick. Yeah, those two baskets there are the only pattern actual packets I have. That's not to say I wouldn't buy more, but actually the PDF seems to have taken over a little bit. And in the final basket there on the right, you can see I do dabble in a little bit of knitting, but I've tried and I just can't get into it as much as the sewing. And obviously then there's obligatory sort of ironing board, which nicely slices down into there. So I hope you've enjoyed that sort of brief tour of my sewing room. I am so fortunate to have windows all the way around. So there's actually windows here on the side as well. That's a very glamorous view of my bins and things. So I thought I would just, there's not one I want to share really. But yes, I've got a lovely big garden. As you can see, as you move around, there's our shed. And you know, you can see the oak tree there. I've got 2 of those. I've got this one here. I won't show you the top half of it, you can imagine from that. And you'd have seen the other one, it's just there. So I hope you enjoy that. Yeah, I have got patio doors here as well, so lots and lots of lovely sets of windows. I hope this isn't making you too motion sick. And as I said, I've got patio doors there. Well, Alice has just come to join us. Where is she? There she is. Hey Alice! Who does love to look out and see what's going on. What's going on, Alice? Are you okay, darling? Yeah, pop it. So I'll join you back in the sewing room in just a second. So I hope you enjoyed that little trip around my sewing space, and hopefully some of the things that are in the background when I'm talking to you make a little bit more sense now. Yeah, I did try and show you very briefly how I store my patterns. There's lots of ways of doing that, but I just pop them into these poly pockets. Sometimes I really just very unglamorously write Safia Playsuit. Sometimes when they're a bit more sheer, you can actually see the original front cover of the pattern. And the same, for example, that's the Maven, so the Somerset top by Maven Patterns. So it just really keeps it nice and quick and easy, and keeps everything in its place. So great to see you all again. My next video probably be catching up with you about what I've been making. you'll have seen this video this week. If you haven't, please pop over and have a look at that. I worked on a collaboration with the baker that sews, and we both did one pattern 2 ways, so please do take a chance to catch up on that. Until then, stay safe and well. Been great to spend some time with you again. Please do comment in the below if there's anything else you'd like to see from my sewing room, or anything you'd like to know to get to know me a little bit more. All right, take care everybody, stay safe, bye.